Hey guys, I am back. If you haven't seen it, I'd go to my January Depression Diaries recap video because this links onto the back of that. This is about my doctor's appointment. So, here we go. So I went to the doctor's 3 or 4 days ago. I think it was 4 days ago now. And it half went how I expected it, half didn't go how I expected it. So this is a bit of a mashup about as a Depression Diaries and an in-depth because I want to be talking about this. I went to the doctor's fully expecting a bollocking, which I got, for coming off my medication without telling them. I was totally prepared for that. Knew it was going to happen, because they had told me that I shouldn't. But again, if you're wondering what the hell I'm on about, pop and view my last video for the Depression Diaries. It does explain it. So yeah, went in totally expecting a bollocking, got it, and yeah, I explained what had happened, explained about the whole I could have killed myself and wouldn't have even known, and everything like that. It was a nice, horrible conversation. Contradictory terms there, nice, horrible conversation. And they just didn't seem to care. And I'm kind of used to this by doctors. They've got a lot on their plate, I totally get that. But yeah, she was just like, well, you should have stayed on your medication. Yes, I know you're going to say that. And she was just like, and I told you it would get worse before it gets better. And she's like, yeah, I know. And so I explained the reasons why I came off it, the fact that I was going to be on my own after Rachel went back to work, and if it happened again, I had no guarantee that I would be safe because I wasn't obviously compass mentis enough to ring like the crisis line or anything like that. And so I deemed it was necessary to come off them. And I've been so much better since I've been off them as well. So, you know, apart from the weaker withdrawal and the illness, but that's fine. But like in myself, I felt so much better since I've been off them. And so she was just like, well, I want you to keep them. And I was like, okay, sure. Just add it to the copious amount of prescription drugs that I get given. And she was just like, just because you're like feeling good now, it's not gonna last. You are gonna get worse. And it's not like you might get worse, it's you're gonna get worse, and if that happens, I want you to go back on them. And I'm just like, right, okay, let that slide. The bit that bugged me is she's been pestering me about getting a job. Anyone who's been following this knows that I quit my job early December because the incident caused me to have a bit of a breakdown at work, and it wasn't a healthy environment for me. It was one of the things that was really, really kind of contributing to my poor state of mental health. And she was just, every time I've gone in, she's just like, have you been looking for a job? And most of the time it's been like, no, I can barely go to the loo without it taking like 10 minutes because I can't figure out what the hell I'm doing while I was on those beds. So no, I haven't been looking for a job. And she asked me this time, and I went, well, I'm looking for like a little part-time job, because one of the things that's happened is we had a group family discussion. For anyone who doesn't know, I do sounds so lame. Rachel and I do live with my parents. We share the house. So I explained that we had a family discussion and decided, because my mum is epileptic, that and her funding was cut in August, that actually it would be a good opportunity for me to take over her care which by government definition I have to care for someone for 35 hours a week and I get a subsidy for it and things, which is fine because I do do it anyway. I've been doing it for free for God knows how long. But this way I could stay at home, someone was with my mum like all day, and then vice versa, someone's with me, so I'm not on my own, which really, really helps. And I said, so that's going to be my main thing. I have to do 35 hours a week on that in the eyes of the government to be officially registered or officially seen as her carer. And like I do doctor's appointments and everything, all that jazz. So, and I was saying I was looking for like a little 5 and 10 hour job just to subsidise that, because I'm not allowed to earn something like over £110 while I'm doing this. And she was just very, like, she asked some very personal details about my mum and things, which I won't go on to on here because they're not my details to share. And I just hit the desk, sorry. And she basically turned around and said, like, oh, well, you need a job. You need to have a focus in life. And I was just like, hold up. I don't need a job to have a focus. I can have a focus in life. It could be art, it could be writing, it could be, going out and helping the homeless. There can be a focus in life, but I don't need to be employed to do it. Yeah, okay, I'm looking for a little job because I'm one of these people that I feel weird if I'm not working. I just am one of those people. I very much take after my dad in that respect. But she's like, oh no, you need a 9-to-5 job and then you can look after your mum in your spare time. Because sitting at home staring at the walls won't do you any good. You're gonna end up getting suicidal again. I'm just thinking, whoa, hold up. One, caring, anyone who's done it out there, utmost respect, because caring for someone isn't just sitting around doing nothing all day. It really isn't. I have had to work at a very carefully planned schedule for when I'm going to start streaming. I have to keep track of everything, from my mum's doctor's appointments to simple things like hair appointments, so I know that she's going to be okay for them. I have to go with my mum to all of these appointments. I'm not sat around doing nothing. If I am basically here, so if my mum has a seizure, there is someone with her to keep an eye on her, and if my mum wants to go out, she can. And it's just this is essentially a job. The only difference is I'm not getting paid $11.50 an hour to do it for a stranger. I'm getting paid $1.50 an hour to do it for someone I love. So I had a bit of a rant at her about that. But the focus thing really bugged me. The fact that the doctor was essentially saying that unless you are a productive member of society that's contributing to its economical gain, you're not worth anything. Because that is honestly how the doctor made me feel. Which, as she's the one who's been treating me throughout the whole depression thing, and is the one that recommended that I go on the meds and everything, she should kind of know that can have an impact on how someone feels mentally. I'm really lucky. I have a really good support structure. Caring for my mum has already benefited me because it means I'm no longer on my own. So if we go out, I haven't had a panic attack since doing this, which is amazing. I love it. Because I don't go anywhere on my own anymore. And that is a big factor. It was feeling panicked because I was on my own in a situation that I couldn't control. Because I'm with someone else, and it's someone that I have to focus on, it makes a hell of a difference, because it gives me something that I need to be very alert of. But yeah, to turn around and say, oh, well, you don't have a job, so you don't have a focus in life, was just, if nothing else, downright rude. Incredibly rude, and really annoyed me. And then for her to basically say, well, your happiness isn't going to last, you're going to end up suicidal again, so if it ever happens, I want you to take a handful of these tablets. It was just like, let me explain. I have been here before. I've done the depression thing. I've gone through the cognitive behavioural therapy, which I'm going into again, hopefully in March, because I know it works for me. Just the same way as I knew that the antidepressants probably wouldn't when I went into them. And because I've done it. I've been there. I know that I am more prone to a depressive state of mind than some other people. It's just the way my brain works. So I've been through all this. I know that it's not all going to be sunshine and rainbows coming out of my ass for the rest of my life. Everyone has bad days. Everyone. So the fact she basically turned around and insinuated that I'm gonna end up going to kill myself unless I'm on these medication, I was fucking shocked, to be honest, and I was so glad when she said it was the last appointment she'd need to see me for, because I didn't want to be there. She brought up my weight, saying like, oh well, have you lost any weight? And yes, I can officially say in the last month I've lost a stone, but I gained 1.5 stones the month before because I was on that medication, so I'm actually no better off. Thanks. But yeah, I just feel that the doctor was quite out of line in that meeting. Whether she was just thoroughly pissed that I came off this medication without consulting her and was kind of trying to get back at me, which would be incredibly unprofessional, I don't know. But to turn around and say that I have no focus on life because I don't work, and to say that I need to be on the medication or I will essentially kill myself, when it seems that it's like the opposite, I just felt was very out of line. And I'm sure there are other people who have had doctors like this, because they aren't all great. I've had some amazing doctors in the past, and dealt with some amazing nurses for various things, from operations to depression. And she just didn't seem like she cared anymore. It was like, oh, I've seen enough of your problem now. So yeah, that sucked. If anyone else has had it, like a doctor's appointment like this, one thing I'd recommend is find a support network, because at least in my experience, a support network is doing so much more for my state of mental health than the doctors. In fact, and I will be doing another video on this at some point, the thing that has helped me more than the doctors is Dungeons and Dragons. Me being uber nerd here. And I will go on to explain about that, because it was something that was very prominent that I didn't mention in my videos in my life at the time. So yeah, but yeah, it was just a quick recap on what happened to the doctors. All in all, went well in the fact that I don't have to go back. I'm no longer on like their suicide watch list or whatever it is. Sucked in the fact that I don't like being moaned at, and I certainly don't like being undermined by someone, because it's not her place to judge in that respect what is deemed a suitable focus in my life. So yes, there we go. So thank you for this kind of half and half Depression Diaries in depth thing. Yeah, and I will see you soon. Bye bye.